Well, welcome back, children, and here we are for the craft session of that lesson we had yesterday. Okay, and we learned about Elisha, and we learned about the wealthy woman, the Shunammite woman, how she was just a wonderful hostess. She showed a lot of hospitality. So I was thinking, what can we do for a craft for today? And I thought, you know what? A pineapple is usually the fruit that I always look upon as a sign of hospitality. So I was trying to get some things together, and I came across this, and I thought we really haven't painted in our lessons yet. We use some paint sticks and so forth. So I thought we can paint, but if you don't have paint, you can use markers or crayons or colored paper. But we're gonna make our own little pineapple today, and we're gonna use that Bible verse that we learned yesterday, and it's Romans 12:13, and that tells you share with God's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. So that's what we're going to do. And it's actually going to be, if you want to draw the form of the pineapple, and then what these are your hands. Okay, now these are definitely too small for Miss Donna's hands, but I miniaturized my hands because I think it looks so much cuter when children's hands are traced and copied and cut out. So that's why I did it this way. But I'm going to show you the way I did it. And like I said, if you don't have paint or you don't have the right supplies, just use what you have, okay? You can just use your creativity. We always talk about that. You can use regular yellow construction paper for your pineapple, which is here. You just need a little bit and shape it like a pineapple. We're going to use construction paper that's green, all right? But we're going to paint, because I just felt I wanted to paint. And I have plates, and I actually painted one yellow, and I painted one green, but, and I had only yellow and blue, all right? So what do you think? What happens with yellow and blue? It makes green, right? Okay, so we're gonna go through, and I'm just gonna show you something for the yellow before we get started, because I think this kind of makes it look a little bit more like a pineapple. It's just a little creative idea that I had, and I wanted to share it with you. All right, so we're gonna just go through here, put a little bit of yellow on your plate. You don't need a lot. And then you can take like a paper towel or something, just to make sure you don't make a mess for your mom or dad. And ask for some assistance if you need. And just take that off, close your lid, and if you have just yellow and you don't have green, you just take yellow and blue and mix them together. So we're gonna do I wanna show you this first, and then I wanna show you the yellow one. Actually, I wanna show you the yellow one first, because once I get my paintbrush dirty, it's gonna make it a little bit messier to show you. So we're gonna do the yellow, and I apologize for that. All right, but we're going to start with the yellow, and just take your paintbrush, all right? If you want to get it wet first, you can, but just kind of go like this. Just move it around on your plate. And I use these kind of plates because for a mom or dad, when you're teaching your children how to paint, it kind of gives them a little barrier so they don't get a mess in your home, all right? So let's just go through and just do a little painting. Cover it up nicely. And that little bit of paint will cover a large surface area, and you'll see that. And there's going to be a little extra paint there, and this is something you may want to try when you're doing your pineapple if you want to do it this way. See how you have all these little areas on here where there's some extra paint? Maybe just make little L's, okay? You can make a little L all throughout it. And that kind of gives you a little bit of texture to your pineapple when you go to cut it out. And it'll take a little while for that to dry, so just be patient with it. You may want to let that sit for a day even, all right? But just make little marks in there, and then you'll see that. You'll have all those little bumps in there, and they do take a little longer to dry, so just be patient with it. So we have that, and then when we need to do our green, like I said, we took the yellow and the blue if you don't have green paint, and you're again mixing it together, and look what happens. We come up with this beautiful green. And this will be for your hands, all right? If you need to add a little more yellow, feel free. If you like this shade green, that works too, all right? And what I did for the top of the pineapple, instead of making those little L's, I just kind of made strips. I'll just go through it. I kind of like this color, so I'm gonna leave it like this. All right, so we're gonna just go through. And then you can just kind of go straight across. That way it kind of looks like it has a little texture, almost like a pineapple, the top part of the pineapple. All right, and you can just leave it like that. All right, and that's going to be your hands. And then once it dries, if you want to trace your hand, if you're using plates like that, you can tip it over and just put your little hands right on the back. If you need to use 2 plates, if your hand is larger, then use 2 plates. Or if you want to use your paper, your regular construction paper, do it that way. And then for your pineapple, again, just kind of envision what a pineapple shape is, and then you can cut around. And then if you'd like to, like I did, is to put that Bible verse on the top, which is Romans 12:13, and then you'll actually cut out your fingers and your hands and put them on the top and just glue it. I used, some of this glue, but you can use the Elmer's glue as well. But, take your time. I thought it was kind of a fun thing. It's kind of a simple craft, and you can put some those little shiny sprinkly things on if you want to make it a little fancier. And it's just a fun little craft. So I hope you enjoy it. And I just want you to always know that, what God said. He said to share with God's people who are in need and practice hospitality at all times. All right? So until I see you next time, practice that hospitality, enjoy that craft, and I'll see you next week. God bless.